guard Derek Thompson, and left guard Chad Kuchar.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Krantz Field in Blair, Nebraska for tonight's football matchup between the Blair Bears and the Wolves of Elkhorn North High School. Brian Abrahams and Dan Dahlgren with you here as the Bears enter the game 0-4, looking for their first win of the season. Unfortunately for Blair, it will not be an easy one. Elkhorn North is 4-0, and by some publications, ranked number 1 in the state. So much like we talked about last week against Norris, Dan, it's an uphill climb for the Bears all the way from the beginning.
Yeah, good to see you, Brian. We get rid of number 2. Why don't we just bring in number 1?
Yeah, right.
And I think next week we're at number 3 or at number 4, whatever Bennington's sitting. So it's a tough schedule, right? And combine that with a fairly young team, right? Trying to kind of find their way. We think we've kind of had a few games there at the onset of the season that were probably winnable games, right? You got to probably beat Standing Bear. That went into overtime. You probably, no offense, Pius quality program, but you had many opportunities just to take that game and make it yours. So, we could very easily be sitting here. I don't know about Gretna. I never felt like I think it was 28-14, but again, I thought Gretna played better than Blair did, but I didn't really think that for the Pius game. So, you could be sitting here 2-2 with an awful lot of sophomores playing and some juniors. We've got a few seniors out there. One notably, Blaze Bauman, good athlete, state caliber wrestler, all-state football player, and I think he might have bruised his shoulder towards the end of that Norris game last week and is out. So, Folks, buckle up and let's bring in number one
Right.
here and see how we do.
Yeah, Blaze Bauman, as Dan said, unavailable for the Bears tonight. He's down there on the sidelines in blue jeans, unfortunately. Elkhorn North will kick it away, and it is kicked all the way through the end zone there by Quade Caraher. So the Bears will start 1st and 10 from the 20. Really no difference in the Bears' offensive starting lineup except for that running back spot. I would expect to see Carson Fowl back there. He's listed as the backup tailback, but I do see him out there. Very important here for quarterback Brevin Leggett and his wide receivers, in my opinion, to get off to a good start.
Yeah, Brevin being a sophomore, we've seen, kind of a wide variety of play. He moves around real well. He's got a good arm. But again, when you're a sophomore, things move pretty fast. So hopefully things slow down for him a little bit. And you can do that a little bit with your game plan too, right? A little more to get a young kid to read a defense, especially, a good defense like this. It's kind of tough. Maybe more play action, things like that, and just kind of get him in the flow of the game.
We'll see what the Bears do right out of the gate. Leggett will work from the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 man to his right. And boy, did we get a delay a game on the first play. We did. Not a great start there for the Bears. A little bit slow getting to the line of scrimmage. That'll back it up 5 yards, and it will set up 1st down and 15.
Yeah, Brevin has got to kind of keep, we don't have a field clock here, but, you've got a guy out there that'll hold his hand up and he'll start counting. So coaches can see that too. You don't want to burn a timeout on the first play either, but again, kind of a silly way to start, but here we go.
Yeah, and Coach Landsman is upset with somebody looks like he's upset with the officials down there. First play, they're going to run a little jet sweep, and they'll get those 5 yards back. It's a completed pass, actually, to Colin McCabe. Got it out to the 20. Sets up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Collins played pretty darn good last couple games, and got a good lineage there. I think he's where did his sisters play? One's playing
One's
over
playing
in Iowa.
in Iowa City. You got it.
Yeah, she's playing at Iowa City. Another one playing at Drake. And then Colin and his brother, pretty good track kids, and Colin, pretty good football players.
It's a good athletic family. On 2nd down, they're going to toss it to Carson Fowl, and Fowl finds nowhere to go over here on the near side on the toss. He'll lose. Well, they're going to give him the forward progress. Got it back to the 20, but it's going to be 3rd and long, a down that the Bears need to avoid here tonight.
Yeah, looking at film a little bit on Elkhorn North, I mean, I hate to say one team similar to another, but to me, just the caliber of athletes, Norris is doing some good stuff there. They're bringing in some good kids, and I thought there was a lot of similarities between the two, but I thought Elkhorn North's defense more disciplined. Just across the board, and maybe just a little more athletic.
On 3rd down, looks like a little miscommunication in the backfield, and the pass is going to be overthrown. Intended for Hayden Daggett, but really from the beginning, you could see that Leggett took the snap, wanted to run a play action with Fowl. I think Fowl went the wrong way, and that's a incomplete pass. Nonetheless, it sets up 4th down.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to harp on the passing tree, and this goes out to my old buddy Rusty Stanley. The worst thing I ever saw come into football was teaching youth players the passing tree, because he popped and threw, and it wasn't anywhere near a receiver. I'd rather you throw to a receiver.
Not good. The ball snapped over the head of Donner. He's going to kick it out of the back of the end zone. Probably the best thing that he could have done there, and he avoids the Elkhorn North touchdown, but unfortunately that's going to be a safety, and the Wolves take the early lead 2-0.
Yeah, that was probably maybe 3 or 4 feet over his head. So, I don't know that we saw anything in that game, the last couple games anyway, that there was a problem. But if you've ever snapped, and sometimes it sails, and that one, it had pretty good hang time as far as a snap is concerned. Would you say, Brian? She went all the way down to the goal line. So, I'm laughing because playing in college, I did that once at UNI. I snapped one over the head, went all the way in the end zone inside their dome, and it's kind of you feel
lonely feeling, I'm guessing.
It's a little bit. We were kind of getting hammered a little bit anyway, but that was a money game for us to go up and play. But I I was blocking. I'm not sure what was going on behind me, but I put her about 15, 20 yards back there. So anyway, tough start for Blair.
They haven't put the points on the board here yet, but I'm pretty confident it's 2-0, and they will back the Bears up, by the way, on the ensuing kickoff all the way to the 15-yard line. So not only is it a penalty on the scoreboard, but certainly a penalty in the battle of field position as well. And remember, Blaze Bauman typically handles the kicking duties for the Bears as well, but we will see Luke Donner. I guess he has done some of the kickoffs. We haven't seen a ton of kickoffs really for the Bears, but Donner has done some of those as well. So he'll tee it up at the 15. And Bears already playing from behind here. Need something good to happen. It's a low kick. That'll bounce and be handled in front of the 30. Out to the 40. To the 50 with blockers in front of him into Blair territory, spinning down to the 40. That's going to be Alex Uckman. Name I believe that we called last year as well with this team, Dan, and good starting field position now for Elkhorn North.
Yeah, good start for Elkhorn North, and like I say, I'm not sure how long I'd leave the young kid in the pocket without the ability to maybe get out of there. I'd maybe roll him out, maybe make things a little simpler for him. I don't know, but we'll see how Blair handles that when they get the ball back.
Ethan Beachy will be the starting quarterback for the Wolves. Little play action. His pass is caught. Nice catch over there on the far side, reaching down to his knees and snagging it. That's Zach Wolf with the catch, and he'll take it down to about the 30-yard line. Not quite 10, but it's going to set up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, really kind of a tough catch, you want that thing somewhere in the waist or up on your numbers, and he had to go down near the ground to get it, so pretty athletic play.
Wolves going quickly here. They will fake the handoff. Beachy's going to keep it on 2nd down. He's got the 1st down and more as he is inside of the 20 all the way down to the 16-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 14 on the play, and that sets up 1st and 10.
Yeah, Blair biting pretty hard on the I guess you call it play action, but, put it in the belly, took it back out, and was wide open for him.
This time they will hand the ball off, and the Bears are all over it. The tailback is Anderson Taylor, I believe, number 21. He goes nowhere. Sets up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, not bad up front, and Blair's played pretty decent. I think we had this talk before the game. I thought they handled Norris's front pretty decent. Just some other things kind of fell apart.
Wolves continue to move with a pretty good pace here offensively. That pass is completed inside of the 10-yard line, inside of the 5. Drew Meyer with the catch, number 18, sets up 1st and goal from about the 3.
Yeah, I don't know how successful Blair will be sitting in a soft zone like that. I mean, that was a little too easy, but.
Beachy takes the shotgun snap. He will hand off to his tailback and into the end zone after dodging one tackler on the left side is Anderson Taylor. So a very efficient drive there for Elkhorn North, and exactly 3 minutes gone here in this ball game. The Wolves have a safety and a touchdown. They lead it 8-0 with a chance to tack on the extra point here.
Yeah, we were a little concerned with, you lose Blaze on offense. You lose a 1,000-yard kid. But really, folks, probably on defense is where it's going to hurt the most. He's probably number 2, number 1, however you want to look at, total tackles or with assists. So
extra point is up and good by Austin McMurdy, the left-footed kicker. Makes it 9-0. Bears down early here, hoping to get on the right track when they get the ball back. We'll step away for 60 seconds. We'll be back on BSDN Live. Welcome back here to BSDN Live. McMurdy has the ball on the tee. His team leads at 9-0. It's a low kickoff this time, and it will bounce into the end zone just over the head of Hayden Daggett. And we'll see the Bears offense again start at the 20-yard line. Dan, you expect they're going to go to the air or try to go to the air here on first down, or see if they can establish something reliable on the ground?
Well, again, we got a 6'5" tight end sitting out there. You're just going to have to. Quarterback's mobile. You're going to have to do what you can do to keep their offense off the field, because Brian, this will turn into it may have already turned into a track meet, but Blair a little bit outmanned certainly. So best thing you can do right now is to try and sustain a drive and start chipping away.
So Daggett from the shotgun. He will hand it off to Fowl. Carson toward the left side of that offensive line, but really good penetration by the Elkhorn North defense, and Fowl will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose maybe 3 on the play. It's going to set up second down.
Yeah, you kind of held that in the belly, and again, I don't want to get a young quarterback hurt either, but that it's just going to have to be part of your, especially with an all-state running back out, right? So that quarterback's going to have to use his mobility. Does he have to run the ball 15 times? No. I mean, no. But you got to be able to get him out in space and make some decisions.
Maybe just enough to keep the defense honest on that zone read. There's a completed pass. Nice job over there, hooking up with Hayden Daggett. Daggett's across the 25 to about the 26. So the Bears get all of that lost yardage back and then some, and a manageable third down coming up here. It's 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and I think Hayden Daggett plays into this. I think I mentioned your tight end, Bo Meyer. There's just some kids you got to get involved in the offense. If you do not get them involved in the offense, like I say, this is not going to bode well for us. You can't go 3 and out every time and put their offense back on the field. So, like I say, you're going to have to keep them involved.
Colin McCabe, another one to keep an eye on here. They're going to hand off to Fowl on 3rd down. And again, Carson, a little trouble finding any running room. They tried the left side again. He's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. So unfortunately for the Bears, it's 3 and out. And Dan, to your point, the key here is try to keep that Elkhorn North offense off the field. And right now, we're 0 for 2.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a defense that, like I say, you'll mention names a lot. I'm not going to do that. But you've got one linebacker going to Nebraska, one linebacker going to Iowa State, folks. I mean, if you think you're going to line up and run the ball down their throat, that's probably not going to happen. So you got to kind of open up the book a little bit, right, and get a little creative. Another
high snap. Nice job by Donner to go up and get it. Gets away a pretty good punt, actually, and it's fair caught by Schultz. Fair caught by Alex Uckman. Sorry about that. At about the 38-yard line. That is where Elkhorn North will have it. 7:31 left to play. Still here in the first quarter. 9-0. Elkhorn North out in front. Now an opportunity for the Bears defense to rise up, try to make a stop here and get the ball back to their offense with some decent field position.
Yeah, I mean, Blair, this just, you're just going to have to make some stops here, right? I mean, they're good, but you kept the game reasonable last week at 31-7, and you're going to have to do that this week.
Beachy's going to throw it on first down to his tailback coming out of the backfield. That's Charlie Rieselman. Good little play design there. Rieselman's across the 45 to about the 47. 1 yard shy of the first down. It's 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying at least watching Elkhorn North and seeing what kind of athlete they got, and everybody moves real well and does a pretty good job.
They'll hand it off this time on 2nd down. It's Anderson Taylor with the carry. Good job that time getting into the backfield. I think that was Griffin Rosterman who came up and at least slowed that play down. Still a first down, but only a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, they scheme pretty well for traps, for dives, for other things in there. So it's the other things. It's the short passing game and stuff, and that's what Elkhorn North likes to do as well. So we'll see if we can kind of slow them down, right?
Beachy has backs on either side of him. He'll work from the shotgun. Hand off is taken by the second back forward. That's Rieselman. He's into Blair territory as he twists down to about the 47-yard line. So it's a gain of, call it 6, sets up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Blair, it looks like Elkhorn North might choose to kind of keep things simple. It's a good night to give your front five some work too, right? Nothing more fun than run blocking for a couple hours. So we'll see.
It's actually 2nd and 5. They will fake the handoff. Beachy will roll out to his right, fires it downfield. Pass is caught right down there at the 30-yard line. Good pitch and catch. Once again, Drew Meyer with the catch, but that's a heck of a throw by the quarterback.
Yeah, and it looked like Bo Meyer kind of had a bead on him and actually got a little shot on him, and he pulled off enough where it certainly wasn't going to hurt him. But we got to get our hands up, right? And you got to anticipate where that throwing arm is, and we just didn't do it.
1st and 10 from the 30. They will hand it off again straight forward. It's Taylor. Inside of the 25 to the 24. Elkhorn North will probably continue to try to work quickly here and fatigue the Bears.
Yeah, and depth is if you're young, you're probably not deep, right? That's kind of how it goes.
Beachy quickly back to pass. He's looking to his left. Pressured in the pocket. He's going to be sacked. Was that Meyer that got him back there? I believe it was. Big sack there by the Bears, senior defensive end, all the way back at about the 35, 36-yard line. Big loss on the play. It sets up 3rd down at about 16.
Well, we've mentioned a few names, and Bo's one of them, and Hayden Daggett's a track kid, right? We know he's one of the fastest kids in the state. It's just you got to get plays out of them, and on offense you got to get the ball in their hands a little bit and try to slow these guys down.
Big play by Meyer. 3rd down and long for Elkhorn North. Beachy back to pass. Sets up the screen, and the Bears are ready for it. Actually had it completed to Taylor, but he had nowhere to go. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that'd be about it. Coming up and making the play, I think that was Jackson Logan with the tackle. It's 4th down and long. Be interesting to see what Elkhorn North does here. They may go for this, knowing the lack of success the Bears offense has had, but they look like they're going to try and punt it, try to pin them deep.
Yeah, everybody needs work. Punting games need work, and like I say, you're in that no man's land, right? They probably could have went for it, but it's not exactly 5 yards. It's 15 yards. So
Meyer will punt it away. It's out of bounds inside of the 20, at about the 15. You bring up a good point there, Dan. The punting team does need a little bit of work too. Certainly down the road, Elkhorn North will likely be in closer games and have an opportunity to pin an opponent deep with a punt. So good time to work on it, right?
Yeah. I think it's the correct move. Like I say, you're just a few minutes into the game. You're up 9-0, and seemingly things are going pretty well for you on both sides of the ball. So now Blair comes back out on offense, and again, how much success are you going to have between the tackles? I don't know. You got some pretty high caliber players there. You might have to make them chase your young quarterback a little.
Leggett will hand it off on 1st down, straight forward again. I think this is going to be foul. Oops, pardon me. They put a new tailback in. That's Andrew Smutney that's moved back into the backfield just to give foul perhaps a little bit of a break. Not much better luck, though, for Andrew as he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, Blair, I thought they actually handled Norris's front four last week decently, but things look a little bit different with Bauman running the ball. He's kind of a yard after contact guy, and it just looks different, and it's not fair to compare other guys. But yeah, you're just going to have to open this thing up a little bit and make him chase your quarterback a little bit.
Leggett's going to throw it on 2nd down. Quick hitter out to that far sideline. Pass was complete. That might have been Meyer out there. I think it was the senior tight end with his first catch of the ball game. But again, Elkhorn North really had that defended very well. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and I'm going to go way back. I'm talking about 1980s Elkhorn. They always had a tall tight end, and they'd put him in a typical tight end or a slot, and they'd just release him right behind the linebackers, and whether it was a jump pass or whatever kind of pass. But if you didn't pay attention to him, the ball was in his hands, and it's 15, 20 yards. So that's why I'd like to see Bo Meyer kind of get in this game.
On 3rd and 10, for the first time in the game, they're going to have Leggett drop back to pass, and Elkhorn North drops him for a loss. He's sacked back at the 15-yard line. So, again, a 3-and-out for the Bears offense after the defense had gotten them the football back, and now Donner will punt it away. And once again, he's deep in his own territory, standing at about his 1.
Yeah, like I say, it's one of the toughest things to do is to hit a golf ball and to play quarterback, right? And especially if you're going to stay in the pocket and try to read a defense, and as good as this one. So I guess I'd like to see him get out and get in space and be able to make some decisions, maybe even run a little bit. He runs real well. But I don't think you're going to make much of a living today, not tonight, standing in that pocket and waiting for things to develop. You're going to get about 2-3 counts at the most, and that's it. So you kind of got to know where you're going. And but like I say, we're up here, they're down there, so do your thing.
There you go. It's a good punt by Donner, by the way. Hit it all the way to the 50, or just to the 49, I guess. It was fair caught once again by Uckman, and that is where Elkhorn North will have it. So they'll start in Blair territory. 2:32 left to play in the first quarter. 9-0 still the score. Beachy works from the shotgun, has a tailback behind him. He'll fake the handoff. Now Beachy to his left, firing downfield into coverage, and it is incomplete. Great coverage down there that time by Andrew Korth. He was step for step with that wide receiver, and he knocked it away. That's beautiful coverage.
Yeah, I don't worry about their speed as much because even with Blair being kind of young, they're pretty fast. You know, they run with teams. But Andrew did a wonderful job staying with him. And there's a little jostling going on both ways, and ref did the right thing, just kind of let it go, and he batted the ball away before right when it got to him. So nice job. I'm a little more concerned with the size of a couple of their receivers than I am that.
2nd and 10 from the 49. They'll fake the handoff. Passes incomplete, this time thrown low and behind the intended wide receiver, Chris Logier, and it's going to set up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Blair's new coach, Will Landsman, from all we know, was a linebacker at I was going to say Kearney State, I'm sorry, but UNK. So I think he knows defense and been pretty impressed with the defensive performances. We just kind of got to step up a little bit offensively, I think.
It's 3rd and 10. Wolves back to pass again. Beachy looking to his right. Pass is almost intercepted. It's incomplete. Jumping that route was that Andrew Smutney, who read that beautifully, knocked it down. It's going to set up 4th down.
Yeah, nice job. Again, Elkhorn North showed it, and Blair able to kind of get out of that soft zone and pick it up and come up. And I'll tell you what, you bat that away, but he was probably a half a step from going the other way. So, I mean, those are the kind of breaks you're going to need against, this caliber of opponent, and maybe a drop ball here and there. I mean, that's kind of what's going to have to happen here. But pretty good showing for the last two series for the Blair defense.
That's right. A couple of stops by the Bears defense. Meyer will punt it away. It's a low punt. Bounces once, and the Bears will get away from it. It'll be down by Elkhorn North at the 15. So for the 2nd consecutive drive, the Blair offense will start at the 15-yard line. Still in the first quarter, 2:06 left to play in the first. It's 9-0. Bears gave up a safety on their first series. Elkhorn North scored immediately on the series following the safety. Then after that, it's been a little bit more defense played by both sides, and now an opportunity for the Bears offense.
Yeah, and you got Bo Meyer, and you line him up out as a Y or something, and again, I'd keep him in tight, and if you're going to be aggressive up front, then I release him, and it's not a real difficult pass there. So
they'll try a quick pass here on 1st down. It's caught by McCabe, and he's out across the 20 to the 25. Good play there by Colin McCabe. Nice confidence-building play there for the quarterback, too. Leggett got it out quickly. It's going to set up 2nd down, but it's 2nd and, less than a yard.
Yeah, one thing I've kind of noticed with McCabe is, he's not a 6'2", 200-pound kid, but boy's tough, right? I mean, he uses everything he has, and he played a really good game last week, and it appears he's come out and is ready to go tonight against this opponent.
So on 2nd and short, Leggett will go under center for the first time. He'll hand it off to Fowl. Carson straight forward. He's fighting for that 1st down, and the official here on the near side says that he's got it. By my recollection, that's the first down of the ball game for the Bears. So nice job by the offense to move the chains. 1:20 left to play in the first quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 21.
Yeah, and they're just going to have to keep grabbing the salt shaker and the pepper shaker. They're just going to have to keep kind of, but just to try and grind it out with these guys is, I just don't think you're going to, you're going to make a living in there. So you kind of open things up a little bit and try to keep some variation, stretch them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yep. I said the 21. I meant the 26. Pass is incomplete that time. He was looking for McCabe again, this time thrown just a little bit too tall over the head of McCabe and his defender. That'll set up second down and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Yeah, that's one your quarterback might want back, right? Actually, Colin ran a really nice route, had a little bit of cushion just from his break, and just kind of got over his head. So
brings up second down from the right side hash. Two receivers out to the left. One man splits wide here to the near side. Leggett back to pass. He's dropped in the pocket. Ball looks like it may have come out. I think it did. Elkhorn North says they have it. Haven't seen an official signal yet. And there it is. They say the Wolves have recovered a fumble and a turnover, the first of the game. Will give the ball to Elkhorn North with a really good field position at the 25.
Well, again, that pocket, it's not going to be there very long. Elkhorn North's defense, not just quality kids, but they're pretty aggressive. So I'm not saying you can bounce this kid outside all the time. Bootlegs work because they think you're doing something else a lot of times, right? But he's going to have to roll out just to create space and see the field a little bit, and I'm not sure about staying in the pocket there.
On first down, Beachy will hand it off this time, and straight forward off the right tackle is Anderson Taylor. After Elkhorn North went 3 and out trying to pass the ball on their last drive, they go back to the ground game here, and they'll pick up a pretty good chunk of yardage. Call it 5 on first down. It's 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Elkhorn North pretty content to let's get in there and get some work in, right? And that's what you're seeing here.
They'll hand it off again on second down. Good move there by Taylor in the backfield, but he's going to be corralled by a handful of Bears defenders shy of the first down to about the 18, 17-yard line. It's 3rd down and 2. See if Elkhorn North tries to hurry to get this play off before the end of the quarter.
Nope.
And they did not do so. Clock runs out. Elkhorn North will have it first when we start the second quarter. 3rd down and short from about the 16-yard line. Bears down 9-0. Back in 60 seconds on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. 3rd down and 2 for Elkhorn North from the Blair 22 as we start the second quarter. 9-0 is the score. Beachy will hand it off. And straight forward again is the tailback, Anderson Taylor. Just shy of the 15-yard line. It's not going to be a first down, so it'll be 4th down and less than a yard. Probably going to see the Wolves go for it here.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to roll their punter out here. So, less than a yard, right? So, always interesting to see just about every football team snap it, 4 or 5 yards deep to get a yard. But
oh boy, the Bears had him, but Taylor slipped out of the arms of 2 tacklers in the backfield and got across the 15 and all the way down inside of the 10-yard line. That was an opportunity there for the Bears defense, an opportunity missed. It'll be 1st down and goal now for Elkhorn North.
Yeah, you got to wrap up, right? And you get away with that with lesser running backs, but, quality programs, quality running backs. They've got at least 2 or 3 of them. And, again, arm tackling's probably not going to get them on the ground.
Almost fumbled the exchange there, but they get the handoff to Taylor, and he runs through a couple of arm tackles just shy of the goal line, all the way down inside of the 1. 8-yard run sets up 2nd down and goal for Elkhorn North.
I think I saw a flag come out there, and the only thing I could think of there with two guys tackling, one Elkhorn North guy was probably maybe a face mask of some type, but.
You're right, Dan. It is a face mask. I guess if there's ever a good time to commit a face mask penalty, it's inside of the one.
Right, not real costly down there, but nonetheless, I can't. You got to be pleased with Blair's defense, at least the effort. I mean, considering the quality of the opponent, so.
They'll run it straight forward with Taylor again, gets behind his right guard and his right tackle and takes it into the end zone. A less than 1 yard touchdown run for Anderson Taylor, his second touchdown run of the ball game. That makes it 15-0.
Yeah, Elkhorn North grinding it out there. So, just a little bit of push up front, and you didn't need much from where they were positioned, and a good effort on both sides of the ball. Just kind of a tough stop down there. So.
Out to attempt the extra point is Zach Keenan. Good left foot kick there by Keenan. It's good. I think I may have inadvertently gave Austin McMurtry the credit on the first extra point. Sorry about that, Zach. But Keenan, number one, with the extra point. 16-0, 10:49 left to play in the half. We'll step away for 60 seconds. We'll be back with more Blair football on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live from Crans Field. It'll be Zach Keenan kicking it away for the Wolves.
Yeah, the old school run up there. Nice leg on the kid, too.
Good left foot kick,
Yeah.
absolutely. Easily into the end zone in the air, and that'll set up 1st and 10 for the Bears from the 20. They're down 16-0. Basically the entire second quarter left to play. 10:49 left in the quarter.
Yeah, and it become nice. Just like I say, I don't want to keep harping, but try to move the pocket, try to stretch a little bit, right, and just try to chip away. And again, with the goal being, let's keep their offense off the field and just find some things that work. I think Daggett's got to get in this game. Bo's in it a little bit, but you got to get the ball in their hands.
Well, they'll try to get it out to a wide receiver on the first play. It's McCabe, the intended receiver. He had it, then dropped it. Official said it's an incomplete pass. That will set up 2nd down and 10. You're right, we have not called Hayden Daggett's name a ton here on the offensive side of the football at all this evening.
Yeah, and I'm not sure we really have all year. It's just something that, you got pressure points you can put on a defense, and you got to kind of know what they are, right? And sometimes you find them where you didn't think you had them. So that's kind of where I'd like to see the offense evolve a little bit, is just, find ways to get the ball in their hands.
We'll see what they do on 2nd down here. They're going to hand it off straight forward off the right tackle. That is foul again with the carry back into the backfield. Sets up 3rd and 11 as he lost a yard on the play.
Well, the only thing I can say is you might be setting up a little bit of play action with that dive action. You just put the ball in his belly and pull that thing out. Now, good defense is probably going to let you get away with that once or twice if they bite and lose containment. But again, I think what else do you have? Well, there's 5.
Well, they got 5 free ones, as you just said there, Dan, as they were able to get the defensive end on the near side of the line of scrimmage to jump into the neutral zone. So instead of 3rd and 11, it'll be 3rd and 6. Probably the same play call, I suppose, when you come to the line of scrimmage. Maybe the Bears will change it.
Yeah, I don't think they really got into it, so they never snapped the ball. So coach sometimes will outthink himself and say, well, that didn't work. Well, that didn't go, right? So, but again, you got to find ways to be able to stretch the field. You got to give the kid some room to get out there and see something, and it's a challenge, right? Yep.
Leggett will throw it, and that pass is low and incomplete. Was trying to hook up with Hayden Daggett, but he bounced it into his feet, and that's going to set up 4th down. And 4th and 6, deep in their own territory, the Bears will punt it away.
Well, he was kind of at his feet, and I think if he'd have brought it up a little, I think he actually found a spot there in that. I'm not sure it's a zone because it's kind of a man zone kind of thing where they've got layers, but he turned around, and if the ball was there, I think not a bad called play. You just got to execute.
Another good punt there by Donner. And it's going to bounce out of bounds over on the Elkhorn North sideline, right at the 40-yard line. So great job there by Luke. Puts Elkhorn North back at least on their side of the 50 to start the drive. 9 minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. Elkhorn North will take over with a 16-0 lead.
Yeah, kind of going how we suspected it may. Again, I want to kind of give Blair's defense a little bit of a compliment. I think they deserve it, but like I say, that's a really good offense out there, and you got to slow them down, and that's you have no choice. Or this thing's a track meet.
They will throw it on 1st down. Pass is caught out of the backfield. Coming over here on the near side is Rieselman, the running back / wide. No, excuse me, that was number 4. That's Uckman. His first time being active in the offense. Takes it inside of Blair territory down to about the 40, we'll call it the 46-yard line, 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was not schemed particularly well by Blair. One guy there and one guy to block him, and everybody else in pursuit. So
they'll hand it off here on 1st down. Slipping away from a couple of tacklers is Anderson Taylor across the 40 and down near the 35-yard line. They got him at the 36, but again, it's a 1st down. Big gain there for Taylor.
Yeah, it looked like you had Carson Fowl had a pretty good shot at him right around the line of scrimmage. You can't hit and bounce off. You got to wrap up.
On 1st down, Beachy will throw. Plenty of time in the pocket. Now he pulls it down. He's going to run. Goes over the middle instead. Pass is caught inside of the 10, inside of the 5-yard line. That's Max Yeager with the catch. Got a pretty good pop on him, but he did a good job to hold on to it. 1st and goal coming up.
Yeah, Blair sitting kind of in a zone back there, and it looked like we picked up the pass and tried to kind of get there and wasn't able to get there by the time the ball was there and just played the man. But we really didn't play the man or the ball, right? We just made the tackle. So you kind of got to make some decisions on how you want to scheme that.
Beachy's going to keep it himself here on 1st down, and the Bears will drop him behind the line of scrimmage back at about the 6-yard line. That looked like maybe some miscommunication between the quarterback and the tailback, but the Bears take advantage. 2nd and goal coming up.
Yeah, I think that's Rosterman with the tackle, and I think if you start looking down the list, you'll find that Griffin Rosterman's your leading tackler with Blaze right behind him, but really does a nice. We talk about the linebackers on the other side. Griffin does a really nice job in there, so good to see him play well.
On 2nd down, Beachy has 2 men wide to the left. 1 man splits out way to the boundary on the right side. He'll work from the shotgun with Taylor in the backfield with him. Beachy wants to throw it. He's going to fire to that far pylon and open and into the end zone.
Too easy.
That might have been Yeager again. Another 6 points for Elkhorn North. Yeah. As you said, Dan, he was wide open running that route toward the far pylon.
Yeah, that's, you can't stick these kids in man the whole game. You can't run them like that, I guess. But the receivers are running. You think your DBs could run, but again, if you're going to play a zone, you can't sit in the back part of the end zone and watch plays develop, right? I mean, he was open from when we saw him cross the goal line, and he was wide open when he caught it. So, again, just got to tighten that up.
Keenan with the extra point. It is good. 7:39 left to play in the first half. Elkhorn North adds to their lead. It's 23-0. We're back in 60 seconds on BSDN Live. And we're back here from Krantz Field on BSDN Live. 23-0 is the score. 7:39 left to play in the first half. Bears trailing Elkhorn North. So far, the Wolves have been as good as we expected them to be. Kick is into the end zone once again there by Zach Keenan. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bears. And really, the offense for Blair has had a hard time getting on track. I think they've had 5 possessions, maybe 6, just 1 first down so far. An opportunity here for Blair to find something that works for them offensively and see if they can't get into a groove and put some points on the board, or if nothing else, take some time off of the clock.
Yeah, and again, they've been pretty hesitant this year to run the young kid, to run Brevin. And again, I get that a little, but somehow you got to stretch. But we haven't seen any of those stretch plays, even with Daggett, that we got so used to seeing. Of course, it's a different staff now this year, but there you are right there.
They'll fake that one, actually. Leggett's going to keep it. He's going to run up in the pocket, still scrambling to his right, and fires it out of bounds. So they did get a little bit of little misdirection there, Dan, kind of what you asked for, but unsuccessful 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to seeing that motion, especially when it comes late, you know. Is it something that works a lot, right? You shuttle pass at or hand it off, and you know, not a lot, folks, but you're still giving somebody running full speed, and it's laterally, and the defense has to stretch, and you're trying to get these guys to stretch a little bit, because if you're going to let them play in the box, they're going to own the box, and right now they own the box.
Leggett will go under center and tosses it to foul on 2nd down and 10. Elkhorn North defended that well, and really no lead blockers out in front of Karsten. He had 2 defenders to beat. Kind of a tough situation there. Got it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard on the play, but it's going to be 3rd and long again. Call it 3rd and 9 with just about 7 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, and again, like from our vantage point, it looks like that's one, too, that Carson's got to stretch with, right? I mean, if you've got Green ahead of you and nobody's out there, again, they pursue real well. I'm not saying that the outcome would have been a lot different, but that's one where you know you might want to get to open field and again get turn it and get it upfield there, but kind of cut back into that. And problem is you're cutting right back into the pursuit, and again they've got 7 guys pursuing, right? So if you see some green, you might want to run to it a little bit, and we'll see if Blair can kind of get upfield a little bit here, huh?
See what happens on 3rd and 8. Leggett back to pass in the pocket, pressured, fires it over the middle, and incomplete. The 3 nearest players to the ball actually had white uniforms on, so a fortunate break there for the Bears. Looked like he might have been trying to hit Colin McCabe, but Leggett was hit as he threw it. Took quite a bit off of the pass because of that. Bears fortunate to get an incompletion there, but it does bring up a 4th down. It's 4th and 8.
Yeah, folks, that pocket closes pretty fast in this game. So they're just going to have to bounce the kid. I mean, there's not much else you can do. But
Donner will punt it away. It's almost blocked, and because of that, Luke had to get it off the side of his foot. Not sure that got into Elkhorn North territory. It did not. Official on the far side still stepping back, and he finally stops at the 43-yard line. So with 6:30 left to play here in the first half, once again, really, really good field position for Elkhorn North.
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but we think it's kind of an oxymoron to say a team is young and then lacks depth. It's 1-1 kind of the same thing. So Blair's defense has, even though we're halfway through the second quarter, arguably they've been out there pretty much the whole game. So, like I say, get a drink of water and keep pushing and do what you can do to stop plays.
That's where all that preseason conditioning pays off. Beachy will throw it here on 1st down. Pump fakes, has a man wide open over here at the boundary. Pass is caught inside of the 10, slips away from his defender and into the end zone. That's Alex Uckman with a 43-yard touchdown reception. Great play design there by the Wolves. Uckman was wide open. Beachy kind of floated that ball and allowed time for the safety to get over there. It still didn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not sure from a scheme-wise. Blair had somebody on him, and they ran about 5 yards and then stopped, maybe biting on it. I don't know if there's a little bit of play action there. But once he bit, he was gone. So he was running wide open. That was your free safety coming over. And you got to track the ball and try to get the ball out of there, and just got there a little late.
Keenan with the extra point is good. 6:21 left to play in the half. Elkhorn North offense tuning it up a little bit here in this quarter. It's now 30-0. We'll step away for 60 seconds. We'll be back on BSDN Live. And we're back here from Crans Field. 6:21 left to play in the first half. Bears down by 4+ scores now. This is a high kickoff, going to be handled in play, brought out across the 15-yard line, and that's about it. I think that was Smutney that caught the kickoff, and McCabe actually coming off the bottom of the pile there. So Colin with the return. And once again, the Bears offense back out there against this extremely stout and talented Elkhorn North defense. They're physical, they're big, and they're fast. I'm not exactly sure what the best way to attack that would be.
Well, like I say, I tend to agree with you. It's kind of looking at Norris last week and Elkhorn North this week, and that's probably a topic of conversation for people is how that matches up. Again, I think they're a little more physical, and I think their defense is quite a bit better. But again, that's just from what we saw.
Bears will throw it on first down out of the backfield with the catch. I think that might be Smutney. Gets it across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. Sets up second down and 6. Nice little wrinkle there for the Bears. Finally, some positive yardage on first down.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it looked kind of like a little bit of a broken play at the beginning, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe the quarterback stepped the wrong way, looked at something different, but by the time he regained it, he was able to get the ball in his hand. And like I say, we'll take 4 yards. That's where you're going to have to chip away at these guys. On
second and 6, quick pass, wide receiver screen out to that far boundary. It's caught. Believe that's going to be Daggett with the catch, and it is. So that'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. Sets up third and 4. I'll get it right here. Third down and 4 coming up.
Yeah, with Elkhorn North being they're really good. They tackle well, right? Their scheme's good. Players are certainly very good. They don't have a lot of depth back there as far as going over the top. Now I don't know if he's got the time to get it off, but I wouldn't be surprised to see something over top a little bit.
Leggett to throw, out to the boundary again. That's Daggett again. That is complete again. So back-to-back completions to Hayden Daggett, and the Bears have a first down as they're across the 30 out to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, nice little possession route. Got a yard beyond the stick. Decent ball. Nice throw by Brevin. And like I say, the little possession routes will also help with the pocket, right? It seems like it's a little much to try and figure this defense out and read them, and that's not so much on your quarterback. It's the scheme, right? You think you see one thing and it's not what they're playing. So, do a little more play action.
And a hard count doesn't hurt either as they draw another defender into the neutral zone. This will be, I believe, 5 free yards. Yep, nobody moved on the Bears' offensive line, so 5-yard penalty on the neutral zone infractions makes it 1st and 5 from the 36-yard line for the Bears. 4:52 and counting left to play in the half.
Yeah, mix it up. keep mixing it up. Mix a little delayed rollout. Just keep it simple and make sure he knows where he's going. He's got to take off and run, then get positive yards, right? I mean, that's what you're going to have to do.
Double tight formation here, and they're going to throw it deep down the field, trying to get it to Daggett. It is incomplete. Covered well. That was Uckman on the coverage, and he was fighting with Daggett, or rather Daggett was fighting with him the entire way. Pretty good coverage there. Ball maybe underthrown just a little bit, but why not take a shot on 1st and 5? It sets up 2nd down.
Yeah, I guess we just mentioned that a few plays ago, but we kind of telegraphed it a little, and again, Upman did a great job of staying with him, and that same type of jostling I think we saw last time, with Andrew Korth down here on one of those. So similar play, defense is in position. He has every right to that ball, and certainly no flag. So anyway, not a bad idea, but again, there are possession routes, and there are things that you can roll this kid out. He might be a little tired by the end of the night, but you're going to have to run away from him a little bit.
They'll hand it off here on 2nd down. It's Smutney on the inside handoff across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. Gets him closer to the 1st down, but it will be 3rd down, 3rd and 8. And now we've got an injured Bear down on the field, right in the area where the tackle was made.
Yeah, I think that might be Carson Fowl. I don't see him running off, but might have got the wind knocked out of him a little bit there. I'm not sure.
Could be Smutney, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I'm sorry. There's Carson. So
yes, the foul comes off the sideline here, but you're right, Dan. It may be the ball carrier. If that's the case, that would be Andrew Smutney, and not only does that hurt the Bears offensively, but he is a defensive starter as well.
Yeah, we won't try to figure out what's going on there. And again, our vantage point is pretty far away, so pretty hard run. And just like I say, they gang tackle, they wrap up, they hit hard. Definitely a quality defense. So I was kind of hoping maybe the wind.
I think you might be right, as the Bears athletic trainer Mark Quickle is out there taking a look at him, got him up on his feet, and it is number 8, Andrew Smutney. So good to see him walking over here to the sideline on his own. He will, of course, be attended to by the Bears athletic training staff, and hopefully we see him back in the game soon. 3rd down and 3 coming up here for the Bears. 4:13 left in the half. Would be a big 1st down if they could execute here. If nothing else, continue to drain some time off the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little of that belly pass, a little bit of a kind of swing thing going on. Try to get you a little bit closer to getting the 1st down. We still haven't seen the quarterback run yet, right? So
they've liked that pass to the short side boundary here earlier in this drive. They're going to look that way again. It's out there and incomplete. Covered up nicely that time, but they were looking for Daggett. We saw that very similar play 2 times in a row to get their previous 1st down. This time Elkhorn North was ready for it. Pass is knocked away. 4th and 3 coming up, and it's a punting situation for the Bears.
Yeah, Blair maybe kind of need to – it's good to see a few things work, but you also got to put them back in your bag and pull them out. Sometimes you got to pull them out a little bit later, right? You're really looking for 3 or 4 or 5 things that are kind of working for you, and then run that out of different sets and just kind of, keep them off you a little bit.
Donner will punt it away. Another beautiful punt. Uckman has it fair caught inside of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Guess if we're looking for some silver linings here, other than the snap over the punter's head on the 1st attempt, the Blair punt game, specifically Luke Donner, has been really good tonight.
Yeah, and he's got a good leg. We know that, and again, like he's mentioned earlier, taken over some of the place kicking duties. Although it hasn't been much of an issue here for this game, but with Blaze being out, we're used to seeing Blaze run down the field and then kick the extra point. So should we get in that position, you're going to see Donner, and like I say, he's doing a pretty good job tonight.
3:51, Elkhorn North with the ball, a 30-point lead and the full complement of timeouts. Let's see what they try to do here. They'll get it out quickly to Uckman. He's got a 1st down as he takes it across the 35 to the 39, 40-yard line. So a big pickup there on 1st down. The Wolves will go with tempo, I'm sure.
Yeah, I like to say we mentioned Blair's defense has been out there, and folks, they've been out there pretty much the entire 1st half, and those little swing passes, again, tire you out even more, and tackling gets sloppy. Yeah, good play.
That play was there. Nice job defending it. That's Bo Meyer, who I think got a hand to knock that ball away. Otherwise, there was a lot of green in front of Yeager, the intended receiver, but the incompletion will stop the clock. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, nice job by Bo, and like I say, picked it up, got his hands up there. I wasn't sure, Brian, if he hurried it or if he tipped it, but just whatever the result was, just beyond the receiver's hands. And again, he had a lot of room to run over there, so
Yep.
pretty fortunate for Blair that happened.
Quick stoppage of play as Charlie Rieselman was down on the play for a moment, but he's back up. The training staff came out and took a look at him. He will at least have to sit out for one play because they stopped play for him, and they didn't use a timeout, I don't think. So still 3 timeouts left for Elkhorn North. 2nd down and 10 coming up here. 3 minutes and 25 seconds left to play in the first half. Wolves lead at 30-0. We'll have the ball on the near side hash mark as Beachy brings the play in from the sideline. Over there talking with his coaching staff. He will send 2 receivers to his left, and Uckman splits out to the right side, the short side of the field. Beachy from the shotgun. There's a snap, and he'll hand it off this time. Nice job there by the Bears defense chasing down Anderson Taylor. Brock Werner initially at least changed his direction, and then a host of Bears stepped up to make the tackle. It's going to set up 3rd down. Gain of 1 on the play. It's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and true freshman, Brock Warner. So if you've got an interior lineman playing as what we would guess to be a 14-year-old out there playing against guys that are going to Iowa State and going to Nebraska, it's definitely a grow-up time these last few weeks. Ruh-roh.
Little trickery from
Little bit of
Elkhorn
a hold.
North.
No
Uckman
hold.
gets away from one man, and he finally is going to be spun down shy of the 50. Dan, no flags on the play.
No, they missed that, though. Bo Meyer kind of sniffed it out. I'm not saying he was in perfect position, but he saw the exchange and got kind of mugged there just briefly and enough to not be able to make the play. So, yeah, I don't know.
Just shy of a 1st down. It's 4th and short. The Wolves are going to sprint to the line of scrimmage, see if they try to go on a hard count. No, they're going to go with the quarterback keeper, and Beachy follows his offensive line straight forward into Blair territory. Enough for a 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 with 2:13 left in the half from the Bears' 48-yard line. And Elkhorn North, sorry, Dan, keep in mind they still have all 3 timeouts if they want to use them.
Sorry, I jumped on you there, but yeah, you don't see too many teams up 30-0 kind of run the reverse or double reverse and this and that. But again, people got to understand there's certain things that you're going to need to be able to execute as you get down the road, right? And we'll talk a little about what we think that road looks like because we've seen a few of the teams now.
They'll throw it on 1st down that far sideline, and incomplete. Pretty good coverage. The intended receiver was Drew Meyer. Pass went through his hands. Sets up 2nd down and 10.
Well, you can also throw the ball down the field. So that's, like I say, it's your game for the next 2 quarters. So do what you want to do. But
is that Korth again on the coverage there, Dan?
Yeah,
he was step for step with the receiver.
Yeah. Andrew runs pretty good. Did a pretty nice job and a pretty well thrown ball. So again, it seems why somebody trying to go for big gainers when you're beating somebody's tail like this, but it also is getting through your playbook and getting the work in. So that looks like what it looks like, and you shouldn't take offense. It's just that's what they're doing. They know they can run the ball, but they probably don't necessarily want to sit there and put a bunch of hits on their running backs. And let's try some of these things that certainly might come in handy when they're playing in Norris or they're playing getting into the playoffs and things become more important. So that's at least how I look at it.
Right.
But again, it is what it is. But like I say, certainly the game's at 30-0 in the second quarter. I would say the game's in hand, right? So my guess is Elkhorn North wants to get their work in. They want to, get things tried out, ironed out. They work, they don't work. Now, if you run double reverses or throw bombs, coaches live with that. They deal with each other in the off season. I ain't worried about it. But but again, you got to get them work, right? And that's kind of the thing here. So, like I said, I would assume we'd see these folks and we'd see their starters into the third quarter, and then most likely we'll get a chance to see their depth too. And
I think that's probably about right. After the Wolves come out of the timeout, they'll throw it. Pass is complete over there on that far sideline, and I think that was actually number 6, Charlie Rieselman. So good to see him back out there on the field. Bad news for Blair. He picks up enough for a first down, however. It's going to be 1st and 10 inside of the 35-yard line.
yeah, pretty well thrown ball. Like I say, coverage was even decent, so pretty good football play.
They'll throw it again here on first down. Pass is caught on the quick hitter and spinning away from a couple of tacklers and past the line to gain. Enough for a first down as Chris Logier, his first catch of the ball game. Again, it's 1st down and 10. Minute 23, clock moving, left to play here in the first half. 2 receivers out to the right side of the formation. Beachy will keep it this time with blockers in front. Got a flag thrown as he twists his way, and he's upended inside of the 10-yard line. Pretty good run. I got bad news for him, though. I think that's coming back.
Well, they could have called the initial one, which was, again, Bo Meyer, but if I could talk to Bo Meyer, I'd say, there's a lot of grabbing in today's football. That's the way it is. It's the quicker you can, get off those blocks, and it shows the hold, right? If you grab me and I'm trying to get off the block and I explode off the block and you're hold, it's just easier to call. If you don't, you got to get off things quick, and you'll get that call more nowadays. This ain't an Elkhorn North thing. This is just how they play football now, right? When we were younger, you just simply didn't grab anybody ever. I mean, they just called it. Now you can grab as long as you let go quick enough. So you got to work real hard to get off them.
So after the holding penalty, they'll back them up behind the sticks. 1st and 15. Beachy throwing it down the near sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Not sure his receiver would have been in bounds anyway had he been able to catch it. That play stops the clock with 52.1 seconds left and sets up 2nd down.
Yeah, pretty good coverage, and like I say, not a poorly thrown ball by any stretch of the imagination. It's just you just got to make that catch and tap real quick, and he just kind of ran out of room down there.
Beachy, 5'11", 185-pound quarterback, has shown some talent with the arm strength here on some of his throws here in this first half. But he's got 2nd and 14. Remember, now he's got 2 timeouts left. They did call 1, and now they have 1 timeout left as they had to burn another one there with the clock stop, but maybe trying to make sure they get the right play in from the sideline here. Elkhorn North leads it 30-0, and obviously, Dan, we talked about it, they're trying to still execute and make sure they can run all of the plays in their playbook. So it's always hard to fault a team for doing that when you, as you said, continue to run the ball and get your running back beat up too is also a risk.
Yeah, and if you played this game, there's just 2 sides of the coin, and unfortunately, it's just the way it goes, right? I mean, there are things that they, everybody's heated up, everybody's playing, and they want to get work in. Unfortunately, it's 30-0, so we kind of turned into a track meet, but you don't really want your starters sitting over there on the bench, for at least three or 4 quarters. They got to get their work in. They've got a lot of season to play yet, and they're in a position to do some pretty cool things. So, yeah, are they trying to? Is it that important that they score, 40 or 50 points right away? I don't really think so. I think they're just trying to get their execution level where they want it.
And on 2nd down, they'll fire down here to the near sideline. Pass is incomplete. Good pressure that time by the Bears. Bo Meyer and Max Rump both in the backfield pressuring the quarterback. Forced him to throw that a little bit quicker than he wanted to. 3rd and 14 coming up.
Yeah, Bo's had a pretty good half, right? I think we've thrown his name out there quite a bit, and like I say, he's one of those kids that, I don't know if it's the basketball background or what, but he doesn't get blocked a lot, which means he doesn't get in and get absorbed that way that they grab and let go and grab and let go. He's off blocks pretty fast. So
they'll throw it again here on 3rd down. Pass is incomplete, knocked down right at the goal line. Hayden Daggett with a textbook play to come in and knock that pass away. Alex Uckman was open, and he's limping just a little bit as he heads off the sideline. But a beautiful play there by Daggett.
Yeah, and while you're working through your playbook, you don't want your starting running back walking off, limping.
Right.
And with people kind of running over to him and see what that was. Again, it's 30-0. You want work. You don't want to leave this field with starters gone.
Right.
And it's a weird game. You think, well, we're just, we're beating somebody pretty good, and then I go hurt a knee. Well, it happens. That's what happens in this game. So I think they've got to keep that all in check too. And like I say, if the game's, if it's in hand, it's at hand. It's what it is. So you got to be smart on both sides of that. And but again, you want them to get the work in, and sometimes things happen. So hopefully nothing serious with him.
Wolves call their final timeout of the half here as they get ready for a 4th down and 14 play from the 27-yard line. They need to get it inside of the 15, really to about the 13-yard line. I guess that's how the math would work, right, Dan? On 4th and 14, they got to get to the 13-yard line to move the sticks, but then if they do, they're going to have to go quickly as they won't have any timeouts left. So very interested to see here. Clearly their quarterback has got a talented enough arm. We've seen him hit receivers down, more than 30 or 40 yards down the field. So that's not an issue. The question is going to be how close can the Bears defend? We'll find out. Here comes the 4th down play. 2 receivers split out to the near side here. 1 man to the far side. Beachy back to pass. He's got time. Now he's pressured. He'll roll to his right. Still looking downfield. He's going to fire it toward the end zone. Jump ball is incomplete. Nicely done there. Knocked away by Jackson Logan. And the Bears defense comes up with a stop. They'll get the ball back with less than 30 seconds left to play in the half.
Yeah, Blair doing a nice job up front, not over pursuing. It looked like Bo Myers kind of had a chance to pursue a little bit, kind of sealed off a little bit, and then one of the interior linemen actually kind of was engaging him when he let go of the ball, so really didn't have a chance to throw it. Now, in that situation, which I don't, everything I've been saying the last 15 minutes, which is let's work on parts of our game, if I'm Elkhorn North, I'm probably kicking a field goal there, and people would probably take that wrong. But again, you don't know where you're going to be, 5 weeks from now. So I would have probably let my young man kick the ball a little bit. But
Leggett's going to throw it here on 1st down. They tried to get Hayden Daggett on a very long wheel route. He came all the way from the other side of the formation here to get matched up with the right defender on the near side. But
yeah, and again, what I think needs work, right, is those 2 routes. Because Luke Donner's also running. He's also released, right? So now you've got coverage, and you have arguably 2 safeties, back there. You got 5 people now kind of where the ball's being thrown, and I don't understand Luke Donner's route, right? If you pull him off short and complete a pass, right? I mean,
puts an extra defender in the area. They'll throw it again. Leggett down the field. Pass is almost intercepted through the hands of his receiver and of Chris Lozier, the defender. So the long pass there on 2nd down, incomplete. It's now 3rd and 10 here for the Bears. 14 and a half seconds left here in the first half.
Yeah, and my opinion is, I'd throw it again, right? It just wasn't a well-thrown ball. He overthrew it, right? But they're not going to want Blair receivers behind them, right? You don't want to give up something dumb. So you need to kind of just throw a little bit better ball and have him come back to it just a hair, and I think it's a completable ball.
They're going to hand it off to Fowl on 3rd down. Carson with his biggest run of the ball game across the 40. Where did he finally step out of bounds? At about the 41-yard line. So that stops the clock as well. It gets a 1st down. I was about to mention the Bears still do have all 3 timeouts left, but with only 8.3 seconds, maybe you could get 2 plays in here. If you got about a 20-yard chunk play here in a quick timeout, you'd have 1 more shot at the end zone.
Yeah, kind of caught him in I hate the word prevent, but call it what you want. I mean, they just figure Blair's going to put one up in the air and down the field, so not a lot of rush there, 3-man front.
Leggett's going to throw it again. He's pressured, steps up in the pocket.
Roll.
Over here to the near side. The pass is over the middle and intercept. No, incomplete. Either way, doesn't matter. The clock runs out. 3-0 up there on the scoreboard, and that's the way that the first half will end. Elkhorn North dominates the first 2 quarters. It's 30-0. Wolves in front. We will step away here for about 20 minutes, a little less than that, 15 minutes, and we'll come back with the second half here on BSDN Live. Welcome back here to BSDN Live as we prepare to start the second half. Elkhorn North leading the Blair Bears 30-0. The Wolves will get the ball first to start the second half unless they mess something up at the opening coin toss. But Blair did get the ball to start the game, so it should be Elkhorn North ball to start the second half. And Dan, we were just sort of talking about it during our halftime break. Elkhorn North has Blair tonight. They play Elkhorn High next week, a team that is winless going into tonight and currently trailing. And then their schedule gets a little bit stiffer. It's on the road at Scott, home against Gretna East, and home against Bennington. So as of right now, 3-1 teams to end the season for Elkhorn North. So these minutes that we talked about at the end of that second quarter are very important for those kind of games.
Right. And again, that's just what you're seeing, folks. I mean, nobody's going to argue the point that maybe 30-0 going into the third quarter. This thing's not up in the air, but you got to get your work. And Blair's young, right? And they got to get their work in too. Playing against this caliber of players, play by play, the whole thing is going to help you as you grow.
Well, they try an onside kick to start the second half.
Well, we touched it.
Yeah, the officials missed it. This ball was touched well before the 50. There's a pileup 15 yards downfield at about the 37-yard line. I'm not sure that even Blair should have a chance to try and pick this up, but I guess it doesn't matter. Elkhorn North got it, but you're exactly right, Dan. That ball, before it got 10 yards downfield, bounced off one of the Bears' coverage guys, and he's the one that knocked it all the way down past the 40.
Well, I saw it. Everybody else saw it.
Not everybody.
Well,
the guys in the black and white striped shirts.
There's several of them out there. Somebody had to see it, but nobody's. Now there's a little discussion, but it's actually, I think.
You know what? This is a discussion on physics.
Dead.
They're asking, do you know how that ball got
Dead
20 yards down the field?
Yeah, but either way.
Yeah.
It's not going to change the cost of anything here. So first down and 10 for Elkhorn North. And like I say, I would imagine we'd start to see some subs creeping in here, but definitely want to give them a series.
And it is the starting offense, as you just mentioned, Dan, out there on the field, or most of them anyway, for Elkhorn North, as Beachy's pass on first down is incomplete. Second down and 10 coming up. That's kind of the first wrinkle we've seen, that little bit of a play action, then almost a wide receiver screen over here to the near side.
Yeah, it's kind of chuckling to myself. If you played this game long enough, you've been on both sides of that 30-0 halftime thing. What's kind of interesting, when you're up 30-0 and coaches come in all fired up and just tear you a new one, you're like, it's 30-0, and they're like, this is going wrong. This is not sharp. This is not happening. So anyway,
they want you to execute, right? On second down, they hand it off. It's taken across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6. Sets up third down. The carry once again is credited to Anderson Taylor. 3rd and 4 coming up. Wolves work quickly. They'll hand it off to Taylor again, straight forward in between that right tackle and guard. Now he's got some room to run as he bounces it outside. He's into Blair territory. Kind of bounced out of the pack there and picked up great yardage all the way down to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, good run. Good. Blocking was pretty good up front, but really just a kind of a poor job of tackling, right? I mean, listen, folks, you can't stand up and watch this game, right? I don't care what the score is. You got to get upfield, you got to find the ball, and you got to make tackles.
On first down, they'll throw it. Beachy's pass is incomplete. Very catchable ball. Went right through the arms of Alex Uckman, and unfortunately for the Bears, it was tipped up in the air, but nobody really able to make a play on it. Nathan Murray was the closest man. The safety is out of his reach. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at halftime a little bit. Maybe we'll get into it as the game goes on. But if there's an Achilles heel, if there's something that could probably look a little sharper with Elkhorn North, it's probably their passing game, right? I mean, they've got receivers. They're all over the field, but short passing game's good. Maybe work on that mid to different levels of the field.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It was completed pass on that play there to Rieselman. down to about the 25-yard line. Third down coming up here. It's 3rd and 3. And you're right, Dan. We've seen only one a long pass completed by Elkhorn North. Everything else has been in that shorter variety. Here on 3rd down, they'll hand it off. And enough for a first down and more as Anderson Taylor takes it inside of the 15 all the way down to near the 10-yard line. I'm not sure if they'll give him the 10 or not. Either way, it's going to be a first down. It'll either be 1st and 10 or 1st and goal. We do have an injured player down on the field, however, and unfortunately it is a Blair Bear. So we hope that everything is all right out there as Mark Quickle jogs across the field to take a look. Right in the neighborhood of where the tackle was made, so I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, it looks like one of the bigs. I can't make out the number, but looks like he got tangled up there with the play. But again, could be cramping too. I don't know, right? It's not exactly, 90 degrees tonight, but it was a fairly warm day for the end of September. So, nope, not one of the bigs.
No, that's the young man we just mentioned, Nathan Murray, the safety. It's a lower body injury. You can see him hobbling maybe on that left leg coming off here. So Bears will have to get another backup into that secondary to fill Murray's spot. And it does look like they gave him the 10-yard line. So when Elkhorn North takes the field, they'll be out there 1st and goal. 10:36 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, unfortunately, that looks like a little bit more than a cramp, right? I
yeah.
mean, you typically will walk that off a little bit, but might have twisted a knee or an ankle there. So,
well, we'll see if they can get him tended to and taped up, maybe back in the game. On 1st and goal, Wolves will hand it off. It's Anderson Taylor straight forward. This time, the Bears defense stands it up. Nice job by the inside of that defensive line. Brock Warner credited with the tackle. It's the second time, Dan, we've called the freshman's name. He's done a nice job against some very talented guys across the line of scrimmage from him.
Yeah. Paying your dues as a freshman. We definitely want to see this kid come back next year and the year after, so good for him.
On 2nd down, Wolves are going to try to get the edge here, and they will do so. A little toss play and then cutting it back up and into the end zone following his blockers. Grant Sutko, the first time we've called his name this evening, takes it into the end zone. 10-yard touchdown run for the Wolves.
Yeah, pretty well blocked at the point of attack. And again, Elkhorn North maybe coming out in 3rd with a little more. Like I say, they most likely got their butts chewed because that's just what happens when you're up 30-0. And that series was sharp. And again, he basically jogged in and pretty much was untouched.
Keenan tacks on the extra point. And with 9:56 left to play in the 3rd quarter, Elkhorn North extends their lead. It's 37-0. We will step away for 60 seconds. We'll be back on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to Krantz Field on BSDN Live. Elkhorn North ready to kick it away. After the touchdown gives them a 37-0 lead. It's a high kickoff this time that bounces, and it's going to be handled all the way back at the 1-yard line by Hayden Daggett. Tough break for Daggett. Now he's still looking for some running room. Going to try to reverse field. Needs a block. He's going to get one, and Daggett with some speed.
Run.
He's to the 40. Daggett's going to be wrestled down. By the kicker at the 45-yard line. But what a return. It was a tough break because the ball bounced basically straight up at the goal line, and Daggett had to play it. did a wonderful job to create that much momentum on the return. He got it all the way to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, good speed there, right? And one man to beat, and the kicker did a really good job. So either that or Hayden might have been getting a little tired. You know, folks, he ran about 95 yards to get to the 40.
Yeah, and he looked like he wanted to come off the field. They told him to get back out here for first down. So he's out there on the field right now. On first down, they'll swing it into the boundary here to Colin McCabe, but really nowhere for McCabe to go. He's going to lose at least 3, maybe more than that on the play. It's a tough play when you're running it to the short side of the field like that, and Elkhorn North was right on top of it.
Yeah, you're catching the ball a yard from the out of bounds. I don't understand it. You run that to the wide side of the field or look short side and then stretch. But you can't stretch if you don't have, laterally have room to stretch the field. So, yeah, I don't know. Not where you want to run that.
On 2nd and 13, Leggett under center, wants to throw, does so out to the far side. Pass is caught. It's McCabe again. Out to about the 47-yard line. Good pickup there. 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, well thrown. Good pitch, good catch, and fought a little bit and got another yard out of it. So, like I say, I think Colin McCabe's played pretty darn good football. More noticeable the last 2 or 3 weeks. So good to see him step up.
Definitely has found a good connection with Brevin Leggett. I don't have the stats, but he's got to be the leading receiver tonight as far as receptions is concerned anyway. 3rd and 8 coming up here. Leggett's going to throw it again out to the near side. Got the same guy one more time. We do. Colin McCabe with another catch. 3 plays, 3 catches on this series. He's right to the line to gain to the 50. Or excuse me, across the 50 to the 45-yard line. It's enough for a first down.
But kind of doing, what we talked about in the first half, which is drop this kid back, put him in a pocket, and make him try to read things in 1 or 2 counts, which, I don't know who can, right? Or know where he's going, right? Know where he's going.
Right.
He's throwing it into single coverage. He's getting a little bit of cushion that will close down as they throw that more, but there it is.
They'll throw it again. Pass is caught. Nicely done there by Hayden Daggett, reaching his hands out to snare that one. Picks up about 4 yards on the plate, sets up 2nd and 6. And you're right, Dan, the Elkhorn North defensive backs are giving a little more cushion than we saw in the first half.
Well, it's 37-0, so they'll stay back a little bit till coaches move up. And I think we're also starting to see some different players rotate in on the Elkhorn North side. Definitely up front. It's biding him a little more time, but 2 big linebackers are still there, I believe.
On 2nd down, Daggett's going to throw it again. This one is incomplete. That was intended for McCabe. Really a catchable ball. Would have been right in the neighborhood of another 4 to 5 yard gain. But as it stands, it's incomplete. It's now 3rd down, 3rd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, just didn't quite have enough on it. Did hit his hands, but he was, you're running that out route, and you come off your break and the ball's down by your knees. You're also running, at that point, almost full speed. As you go to the sideline, it's kind of, it's a pretty athletic play to make. So, good try. But
on 3rd and 6 with 6 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter, Leggett's going to toss it to foul. Carson cuts it right back up into the teeth of that defense. Gets it inside of the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Looked like that play was supposed to go all the way to the boundary, but Fowl clearly didn't think he could get there. Cut it back up to try to follow his blockers. Picked up 2, not enough. Sets up 4th down. It's 4th and 3.
Yeah, and I guess my feedback to Carson would be is if you're going to, it's hard to tell a guy, running back not to cut back, but if you're going to cut back, you might have to cut back twice, right? You can't just cut back once because you're moving right at him, so it might be a more than one cutback.
On 4th down, Leggett's going to throw, and incomplete. Boy, he had 2 receivers who had gotten behind the Elkhorn North defense as he scrambled and overshot both of them. Going to turn over on downs here. We'll give the football back to Elkhorn North.
Yeah, and it looked like maybe he could have just ran for that, right? Again, he broke out of the pocket and then saw the 2 open guys, but again wasn't able to. They're kind of standing still, then they break and they start moving. It's not as simple as it seems because technically they're not where he would think they're supposed to be. Now I gotta improvise. But you might also want to just run up 4 yards and get the first down and live the fight, on first down again. But again, that's a decision you make when you're out there.
Elkhorn North back out there on the field. I think this is going to be the backup quarterback out there, so we'll try to keep up with the names of these new players. The completion is to Logier. Certainly that's a name we've called already. Chris Logier with the catch. The new quarterback is a name you've heard before, but only because I misspoke on an extra point. It's Austin McMurtry, a 6-foot junior. With the completion, sets up 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, Blair real soft on that coverage. And if you're down, I'm not sure you necessarily want to be soft, right? You can when you're up 37, but.
Wolves will hand it off on 2nd and short. And across the 50 to the 49-yard line, picking up the first down. It's going to be the backup tailback, number 24, I think, Nate Truffholtz. So 1st and 10 for Elkhorn North. Inside of Blair territory now at the 49-yard line. McMurtry will hand it off. It's Truffholtz again. Bears defense swarms him at the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost a half a yard on the play. 2nd down coming up. The clock, by the way, is a running clock now as the Bears lead it. Elkhorn North leads it by more than 35 points. 37-0. There's 3:20 now left to play in this 3rd quarter. So incomplete passes will not stop the clock, and change of possession will not stop the clock. 2nd down and 10. McMurtry back to pass. He'll look to his left, fires it over the middle. Great pass. It's caught and bouncing off of one man and still on his feet all the way down to about the 23-yard line is Colin Acker. Bounced off the hit by the Bears safety and picked up another 5. Good gain there on 2nd down. Sets up 1st and 10 again.
Yeah, and a coaching moment for Blair. I mean, if you've got free safeties back there and they're throwing that crossing route, you got to play the ball a little bit, and they chose to kind of let him catch it and then make the tackle. Well, that's not necessarily what you want to do either. So a little bit of you want to play that a little different, I do believe.
Truffholtz with the carry there. But we do have a flag thrown on the play. It's a holding called on Elkhorn North. I stand corrected. There is stoppage of play for the officials to signal the penalty up here to the booth. Once the ball is set back down, the clock will restart. But they back them up 10 yards, and that'll set up 1st down and 20 now for Elkhorn North.
Yeah, I think Elkhorn North, I don't know if they're exclusively backups at this point, but most everybody out there is, right?
Yeah.
Again, backup quarterback throws a pretty nice ball. But again, you don't want to sit back there in a prevent. You don't really want them to score again, right? That's
Bears
the point.
Bring pressure here on 1st and long. It's a screen pass, and Blair was all over it. You're exactly right, Dan. You don't want to just let their backup quarterback sit there and pick you apart either. So good job by Blair on that play. Moves the ball all the way back to the 39-yard line. So Elkhorn North with some work to do here. They've got 3 downs to do it. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, and I'd anticipate we'd see Blair doing a little more subbing, but folks, there's not as many. There's probably 25 less players on our sideline than theirs. So I mean, your ability to substitute is a little reduced.
McMurtry's going to throw it. Has a man wide open over here on the near side on the double move and into the end zone. I think it's Drew Meyer. Boy, that was basically a textbook execution of a hitch and go. Meyer got behind his defender, and a nicely thrown ball, as you mentioned earlier, Dan, by the backup quarterback, McMurtry. It's about a 39-yard touchdown pass. Elkhorn North adds to their lead. It's 43-0.
Yeah, pretty good play, and again, a mixture of starters and backups, but definitely this kid throws a nice ball, and like I say, it was one-on-one. He bit, and I don't think there's anybody 15 yards around him when he caught it. So
Hayden Bird is the backup kicker for Elkhorn North, and he comes in and drills it through the uprights. 44-0 your score. Minute 23 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. Minute 23 left to play in this third quarter. Elkhorn North now leads it 44-0. They will kick it away. A high kick, a little bit of breeze is picked up here. Again, Daggett's going to field it inside of the 5. And this time is going to be spun down shy of the 15-yard line. So after he had about a 45-yard return the last time out, this one goes for 15, and that's not a good sign. He was spun down by the ankles, and he's a little bit slow to get up. And Dan, it's injuries like this, whether you're up by 44 or down by 44, that you don't want to see. And Daggett's going to try and stay out there.
Yeah, a little awkward as he went down. And like I say, if you're going to run that thing out, going 10 yards and then dancing's probably, they're coming, right?
Right.
I mean, some sooner, some later, but you almost gotta you gotta get, where your blocking's supposed to be and or where you see green, but you probably want to try to get up to speed, at least get to that 20-yard line, which is generally with somebody his speed he can get to, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, but if you're going to try to analyze it at the 10-yard line, they're coming, and things are going to change quickly. So get upfield, get your yards, and like I say, if something pops green, something open as you're going, that's fine. But they've also probably called a return middle, return right, return left. I would assume that's pretty standard stuff. But
right.
how often that pans out for you, it seems like most of the guys that break these things, they start a certain direction and they see something, and you can't. It's hard to coach, right? And when they see it, they've got the speed to go make you pay for it. So he certainly does,
for sure,
right? And so anyway,
yeah, speed and instincts. You're right. Bears, by the way, called a timeout before that first play of this drive. 35.5 seconds left in the third quarter. Leggett back to pass, looking deep. Now he's pressured and trying to escape the pocket. Gets a nice block there. He'll throw it down the field here on the near side. It is caught over here on the near side. Hayden Daggett with the catch just shy of the 30-yard line. Good pickup there for about 16 yards. It's going to set up 1st and 10. Nice job by the way by Daggett coming back to the quarterback as well.
Actually, from a play perspective, quarterback scrambling, but scrambling enough to get vision and be able to throw the ball, well-thrown ball, and a receiver coming back towards. So really that kind of communication that is, it's unspoken, but that's the best they've looked probably through 4 or 5 games, right? I mean, that's the first time we've scrambled, come back to the ball, well-thrown ball, boom, I made you pay.
Right.
And you got a first down. So that's one to build on.
Absolutely, and that play takes us to the end of the third quarter. Bears down 44-0. We'll step away really quickly, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. You know the game's getting out of hand, Dan, when we're starting to talk about our tanning habits in between commercials.
Well, that's out of context now, Brian. That's out of context.
On first down, the Bears will throw it and try to hook up with Hayden Daggett again. This time the pass is incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
But that's what I always talk about with Hayden. I mean, sometimes it is the route, right? You can do these pass and tree things, or sometimes that was almost there, and that would have went to the end zone, right? But
yep.
It's in the route, and maybe with some of the backups in now. Maybe you got a little bit longer to set things up, but run good routes, coaches write good routes, right? And things will work out for you.
On second down, they'll toss it here to the near side. It's foul. Carson got behind a blocker momentarily, got it out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Only a pickup of about a yard on the play. The run game has basically been non-existent for Blair here for most of this ball game. It sets up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's 44 to nothing. It sounds kind of silly for me to say that the defense has really done a decent job through these. You're playing the number 1 team in the state, arguably pretty good shot at state champs this year, but we'll see. But 44 nothing doesn't sound like your defense held them in check, but it's not a typical 44 nothing game. But the offense needs to grow, right? It just needs to grow.
There, got a man open down the field there is Leggett. He had Bo Meyer, and that, Dan, was probably the best executed play all night. Meyer's wide open, beautifully thrown into Elkhorn North territory.
Where'd that ball go? Right in the middle of the field?
Right over the middle. I knew that you were going to bring
that
up.
I'm just saying there's a lot of good football in there, and, again, it's the route. It's the route, and it was well run. And like I say, he got behind the one level and then stayed in front of that free safety, and just nice thrown ball. And like I say, I think he was going there the whole time, and he released, and he was open, and it was a good ball. So nice job.
Nicely executed there by the Bears. 1st and 10. Leggett's going to throw it again. Looking down the near side, he's got Hayden Daggett down there. The pass is intercepted, but a flag is thrown. Logier with the pick. He's going to try to bring it back. He was in the end zone. He'll bring it out to about the 20. Got a feeling, however, he's going to be called for pass interference, and this ball is going to stay with the Bears.
Well, we talked about, the little jostling that takes place in today's modern game of football, right? There's always a little bit of a shove off with the receiver and then a shove back, but he kind of got into it a little bit too much right in front of the ref. So I think you're going to see the pass interference on the defense called, and then you'll get the ball moved down there. And pretty good chance for Blair to get down there, at least get some points on the board here, right?
Exactly. And really a nice play by Logier. Other than the pass interference, did a good job to make the interception, but got a little bit too handsy before the ball got there. So they will move it inside of the 20 down to the 19-yard line of Elkhorn North. Bears will have it 1st and 10 with under 9.5 minutes left to play here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything right. You just can't eliminate the receiver, right? I mean, it is his ball to go after. He did everything else right, but you can't eliminate the guy, right? You can't throw him off the route.
There's a toss to foul here on 1st down. Carson to the boundary on the short side. Picked up maybe a yard on the play. Just ran out of real estate, really. And they'll say he gained 2. It sets up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of had the opportunity to, I mean, the blocking at the point of attack was decent, right? So, I mean, come off one of those blocks and try to get upfield, probably get yourself another 3, 4, 5 yards, but he kind of rode it to the boundary.
And on 2nd down, they'll send 2 receivers out to that right side. Little stretch handoff to foul this time. Carson trying to get to the edge over there on the right side, and a flag is thrown as he turns up inside of the 15. Ball was kind of thrown right at the point, right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a holding. It could have either been a holding or maybe a face mask, but we see the holding call from the official. Excuse me. So that'll come back, and they'll do 2nd down again.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. He chose to go to the boundary and not cut back. If he cuts back, then your linemen are in a better position. The pursuit was good, but unfortunately the pursuit was ahead of the blockers, and the blockers are basically blocking. You can grab or block them in the back. It's out of the tackle box, so call one or call the other. I don't care. But if you're able to cut that thing back a little bit, you might get a chance to seeing somebody's front side.
Little bunch formation on the right side this time, and Leggett's going to pull it down. He's got some room to run. All kinds of running room. Leggett inside of the 10, inside of the 5, inside of the end zone.
He can run, folks.
Brevin Leggett.
He can run.
26-yard touchdown run, and Dan, you've been asking for it all year long.
I mean, somebody's out there saying, you run him, that kid's going to get hurt. Well, you listen, it's football. I mean, everybody else runs their quarterback. He got out of trouble and said, okay. And he's not a okay runner. He's a really good runner.
Yep.
I mean, he's got good foot speed, guys, and ran really well in traffic down there to kind of jog in the end zone. So good for you, young man.
Luke Donner with the extra point. It's up and good, and the Bears are on the board. 44-7 is the score. 8 minutes left to play in this ball game. We'll step away for 60 seconds. We'll be back on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. Bears will kick it away. Handled at about the 12-yard line by Elkhorn North, out to the 20. Right up the middle, bouncing away from a few tacklers near the 30 to the 35. Just shy of the 35-yard line will be their kick returner. That's number 6. That's Rieselman. First down coming up here for Elkhorn North. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here in this game. It's 44-7. The Wolves out there with their backup offense. Got a few backup defenders out there for the Bears as well, but certainly some starters still out there on the field as Austin McMurtry, the quarterback, will work from the shotgun. Takes a snap and hands it off to his tailback, straight forward.
Careful there, Mr. Osterman. Griffin's still out there. It looks like Blair's got maybe 6 or 7 subs in, with Rosterman still out there, and looks like Andrew Korth is maybe out there. Bo Meyer's still out there, and I think that'd be about it from the starters, maybe.
Yeah, some on the defensive line along with Meyer. You're right. DePrima was the ball carrier there on first down. They'll hand it off to him again, and this time he turns and falls.
He fell for 3 yards.
Yep. He fell. I was about to say he fell backwards, but he was facing the line of scrimmage, so he gained 3 yards when he fell backwards.
It's
DePrima all the way to the 40.
Yeah, it's like, Coach, I didn't fall. I went and got you 4 yards,
That's
3
right.
yards, and I'm going, well,
whatever works, right?
whatever works for you, son. Just run hard.
3rd and 3 coming up here. Elkhorn North content to keep the ball on the ground, obviously, and work the clock here. McMurtry takes a snap, hands it off again to DePrima, and he's wrapped up shy of the line of scrimmage there. That'll set up 4th down. Here, Elkhorn North with just about 5.5 minutes left here. Looks like they're going to stay on the field with their offense and go for it.
Yeah, see if we get us a jump too, but Woody out.
Yeah, that's a good point. They may try the hard count. Dan, you're exactly right. That's what they did. And timeout called by the Elkhorn North coaching staff before delay of game penalty. And so now I imagine they'll probably punt it away here, I would guess.
Well, like I say,
maybe not.
Well, it's not going to change the face of the game either way. But again, you don't know where you'll be, and you don't know what kids are going to be playing what by the end of the year or next year. And so, I could see getting somebody else in there snapping, somebody else kicking, and like I say, you don't know where you're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting your starting, in my opinion, your starting punt team out here and try and see if you can't, hey, let's launch one and pin them inside of the 20. But I didn't see any substituting during that timeout. So to me, that says it's the second team offense is coming back out. And I apologize. No, it is still DePrima at that tailback spot. And I'm pretty sure still McMurtry, the quarterback, on 4th down and a little bit more than 3.
Yeah, watch out for Meyer.
There's a snap. They will fake the handoff. Passes thrown and incomplete. Nicely defended there by the Bears. That's a turnover on down, so nice job by the defense. Still continuing to work out there. It's going to get the ball back to their offense, and now let's take a look and see who Blair sends out here offensively. Obviously, the starters, most of them anyway, were out there on that last drive, so I suppose we can expect the same. We'll be under 5 minutes when the clock starts here. That's Logan Simpson running onto the field late. Still Leggett. This time he's under center. Got Carson Fowl lined up back behind him at that tailback spot. And Leggett's going to keep it. And once again, here off the right side, Leggett spins across the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. It's almost like they've just discovered his running ability, Dan.
What? I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, actually a pretty well-run little boot, right? A little bit of a pause, and again, he runs real well. Now at this point, being 44-7, yeah, I don't know. It's like a new toy you found, but at this point, you might want to put the cork back on the bottle there, and yeah, just let her fly.
Little trouble with the snap there. Leggett able to get it, see if he can get a pass off, and he does. So that's nicely done there by Brevin to avoid what would have been at least a 10-yard loss had he been sacked or run out of bounds. Somehow he got the ball into the neighborhood of a wide receiver and avoided the intentional grounding penalty. Clock does continue to run, however, 3:45 left.
Well, I was going to point out that I think it's a backup linebacker or defensive end there defensive end for Elkhorn North, number 50. But again, I'm half blind. Apparently, I cannot read that. But yeah, really good pursuit. I mean, this is the end of a 44-7 game, and everybody's still hustling and doing their thing.
It's Braden Butler, number 50 for Elkhorn North.
Well, good for you, Braden.
Handoff here to Fowl. It's met by the linebackers
Scrum.
at about the 22-yard line. A little bit of a rugby scrum.
We
out
had
there.
us a scrum. Just got to reach down there and get that ball out of there and run it over. But yeah.
Sets up 3rd down here for the Bears. 3rd and 4 as we pass the 3-minute mark left to play here in this ball game. Leggett will send 2 receivers to his right, 1 man to his left. Fowl is right next to him on his right side. He'll hand it off to him, and Carson is hit behind the line of scrimmage, able to drag a couple of defenders forward, however, got to about the 21-yard line. Set up 4th down. It'll be 4th down and about 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious here now that for some reason, you've kind of figured out that this young man can run. I don't know. But is now the time to, I think we've got a few games coming up that are winnable, right? And we want to get those wins. It'd be important for the young kids, but I don't know how much his first down's worth for you. But nope, Carson's going to go get it.
They're going to hand it off to Fowl. He's got more than a first down. He headed almost into the end zone. Carson all the way down to the 3-yard line. That'll be about an 18-yard gain there on 4th down. The Bears will have it 1st and goal with 1:50 left to play here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, just a mixture of starters and subs, and it looks like some additional substitutes getting in there for Elkhorn North. So it's a fun part of the game, at least when you can kind of empty your benches and let people get out there and play. But that was a nice run and pretty well blocked by that backup line.
They'll try to get Fowl into the end zone, but this time he is stood up by a couple of Elkhorn North defenders. Looked like a linebacker and a lineman got in there and stopped him. So that'll set up 2nd and goal. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, and again, I'm apt to say I don't think I'm going to run my young quarterback at this point because what's the point? I don't want to get him. These are the times when I don't want to get him hurt. I'd rather he work on his short passing game, right? But when you start over with another team 0-0, you're playing Elkhorn, you're playing Seward, you got to use his feet a little bit, Good job.
They'll throw it here on 2nd down. Leggett's got all kind of time. Now he's flush from the pocket here to his left, still looking down the field. He's going to tuck it and goes out of bounds just shy of the goal line. They'll call him out of bounds at about the 1.5 yards.
But I'm not sure it should stop.
Well, we're going to get a timeout called by the Blair coaching staff. That'll stop the clock with 26.1 seconds left to play. An opportunity to, well, they've got, I guess, one more timeout after this. So if they wanted to run a play and didn't get into the end zone, they could call timeout and do it again. But a nice play there by Leggett. That play was, had all the makings of a terrible loss before he finally got out to the edge. And then he tucked it up and made a really good hard run.
Yeah, again, I think he had part of his development is, do I know where my receivers are, right? Because he did have somebody release out in the corner of the end zone, was wide open. Now, can you see, do you know he's there? Do you have the time to scan the field and see things? Can you look at a 1, a 2, a 3 read? I don't know. Even with the backups, they're pretty aggressive. They're probably sending more than you have to block. So easy for us to say, do a better job of reading. Well, you don't have a lot of time, so not a bad one to get the ball out of there. But again,
on 3rd down, they will hand it off to Carson Fowl. Fowl gets a 1-yard touchdown run. Puts the Bears.
No more running clock, sir, with the last 21.6 seconds of the game.
44-13 now your score. It's a 31-point lead.
Well, like I say, sportsmanship's pretty good here, right? I mean, I've seen coaches put their starters back in, and it's just, we talked about optics, some other play, but that looks bad. I'm not sure the optics of scoring with 21 seconds left is just changed anything in this game other than, play the whole thing out and, like I say, get as many subs in as you can if it's I don't want to say out of hand, but it's the game's decided, right? So get kids in there on both sides, and Elkhorn North just has a little more ability to do that simply because we think there's somewhere between 60 and 65 players over there. So Blair probably more in the 40 range, right, with 2 or 3, maybe 4 now not able to play or not suited up. So Blair may be in that 35, 36, 37 range of available players, and they got 65 over there. So we've seen whole line shifts, with them. And when I say line shift, it's kind of like hockey, right?
Yeah,
I mean, just the whole line
11 fresh
in and out of
guys.
there. But anyway, certainly do kind of before we get out of here. I mean, I wish Elkhorn North nothing but the best. They've been a class act. It's been a good game. We're on the wrong side of it, but that's how it works out here.
Donner will kick it away, and Elkhorn North, to your credit there, Dan, will field the kick and then take a knee. It doesn't get any easier for the Bears, unfortunately, after this, as they will travel to take on Bennington next week. Bennington currently leading Gretna 35-0. So the Badgers will be 4-1 in that ball game next week.
And we will not be
with you.
That game.
Yeah, road game, and Dan and I, our schedules do not allow it. It's likely the next time we will be back is the same time that Blair is back here at home on the 10th of October. They'll take on Seward. Great. Elkhorn North back out on the field here. I would expect this is victory formation all the way. Take a knee, 17 seconds left, and the Wolves will move to 5-0. Blair will drop to 0-5. Well, so far it's not the victory formation. They're going to
Run a play.
Run a player on late. Quarterback back in the shotgun. He will take a knee, however, so it's the new look victory formation there,
Yeah.
Dan. I suppose that's what that is. Neither team is going to call a timeout, so that will be the end of the game. Your final score will be Elkhorn North 44 and Blair 14. The Wolves got on top early with a safety and never looked back. Thanks to Martha for running everything, handling all the difficult stuff up here. All Dan and I have to do is talk. It makes our job really easy.
She's the brains of the operation, no doubt.
100%. My thanks to Dan, as always, for being here. Thanks to all of our sponsors as well. Please stop in and thank them for us. That's going to do it for me. It's Brian Abraham saying so long from Cransfield. You've been listening to Blair Bear Football on BSDN Live.
Night, folks.